said is the most elegant and exciting editor with the tone, the sharpness of a nascent blade for her years of exemplary ethics, true professionalism, and unparalleled courage on the beat. I present to you Ms. Award. Award for Journalistic Excellence will be presented by Professor Lai Osho.
Sometimes it's good enough not to say anything. Because I think what you can, I said everything. What I want to say is thank you for what you have given to Nigerian journalism. And on behalf of the Wole Soyinka Center, present this.
Very honored and most grateful, and I'm very humbled by this. There's nothing like being acknowledged by your own. I don't have much to say, but this is an important profession we practice, and people have spoken better than me today on what it means and how important it is to developing a democracy and making our country a place we can be proud of and be happy to live in peacefully and securely and seek development. And part of what is so important about that is the role we play as journalists. And it's something that we have to remember and work hard at, because in the society we currently live in, there's very little reward for it. And what for me is even more important, you do the work, you investigate the stories, you publish them, and nothing very much happens. But you can't stop. You have to continue. There's another side that needs to take the work we do to its proper conclusion, which is the judiciary and the people who vote for our leaders and decide who is best to govern them or be their local leader or be their representative. At some point we have to get up and say we are better than this, we have better people than this, and we are the only ones who can actually make that change. So our work is important. I thank this center for what it does, and I thank my colleagues in the profession for what they continue to do in spite of the difficulties. Thank you very much.
Well deserved. I want to be like you when I grow up. Okay, the second honorary award goes to it's the National Anti-Corruption Defender Award. And this year, the Anti-Corruption Award was instituted in 2009 by the Center in collaboration with the following civil society organizations in honor of a Nigerian deemed to be of outstanding character and who has a public records and accountability project, Sarah, Women Advocacy Research and Documentation Center, Human and Environmental Development Agenda, and the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, given to Madam Nuhu Ribadu, that was in 2009, posthumously to Chief Gani in 2010, Justice Kayode Esho received this in 2011, and in 2012, it went to Alhaji Balarabe Musa. This year, the award is given to someone who is an academic, author, human rights activist, and currently chairman of the National Human Rights Commission. I'm talking about Dr. Chidi Anslev Odinkalu, who is represented today by his daughter, Solunfichi Odinkalu. activities for the cause of justice and the respect for human condition. Dr. Odinkalu has trudged many paths to arrive at this point. He read law at the University of Nigeria, Enugu campus, and got his PhD in law from the London School of Economics and Political Science. Along the way, he worked as senior legal officer for Africa and Middle East at the International Center for Legal Protection of Human Rights in London, Observer Mission in Sierra Leone, and as Grande International Fellow at the Center for Ethics, Justice and Public Life at Brandon University, Massachusetts. He's also a serving professor at Harvard Law School, Cambridge, Massachusetts, United States. He is one of the most thoughtful speakers for the cause of civil and political freedom in the continent today, in his position as Senior Legal Officer for the African Program at the Open Society Justice Initiative, and has consulted for the advisory organizations such as the Ford Foundation, the World Bank, the African Union, and the International Council for Human Rights Policy, Geneva, United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, the African Union, the Economic Communities of West African States, and the World Economic Forum, amongst other world bodies. Dr. Odinkalu is the founder of the Section on Public Interest and Development Law, SPIDO, at the Nigerian Bar, and a member of the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association. He is a member of the boards of several international non-governmental organizations and institutions, including the Human Rights Advisory Council of the Carnegie Council on Ethics and International Affairs, the Fund for Global Human Rights, and of the International Refugee Rights Initiative. Nigerians will be pleased to know how an otherwise inactive National Human Rights Commission has today become a vibrant voice and articulate institution for violations of human rights in the country that is brave and stern to hold both governments and powerful institutions to accountability. And still only federal officers publicize the content of his asset declaration forms, and he continues to push the boundaries of transparency and accountability in public service. Today, the Wole Center for Investigative Journalism proudly honors his integrity in society, even at the risk of his career. We salute this dogged fighter of freedom and crusader against corruption. I present to you Dr. Chidi Odinkalu, representative. The National Corruption Defender Award will be presented by Professor.
This way. I'm
going to raise it about the photographers. You can see what is happening. Yes.
This way.
Can I please thank the Wole Center for Investigative Journalism, WSCIJ, for the honor of being part of this evening and for the thankless investment it makes in making better citizens of us all. Let me also join everyone in congratulating the winners and nominees. To my big sister, Amma Uga, it's a privilege to share this podium with you. I struggle to find a more deserving nominee for this particular recognition. You've richly earned it. Let me also apologize most sincerely that I'm unable to attend in person this evening. I would dearly have loved to take benefit of the company of so many inspiring people. It was Pablo Picasso who said, "Inspiration exists, but it has to find you working." On the 29th of October, the Governing Council of the National Human Rights Commission, which I chair, fixed its statutory meeting to take place on the 9th to the 10th of December in Abuja. We have a difficult backlog of work, cases, and petitions to catch up on. I am unable to attend in person this evening because I also have to be at work so as not to miss a speaker's inspiration. Honorable Justice Kayode Esho and Chief Gani Fahimi, SAN, two previous recipients of the Anti-Corruption Defender recognition, are true immortals, to whom I owe personal debts of gratitude and in whose company I am frankly unqualified to work. Kayode Esho sponsored my call to the Nigerian bar 25 years ago. Thereafter, Gani inspired a generation of warriors to believe that a legal career does not have to be predictable. Alaji Balarabe Musa and Malam Nuhu Ribadu, two other previous recipients of the same recognition, both alive, are towering exemplars who have made tremendous personal sacrifices for their benefit in public life with integrity. I'd like on an evening like this to acknowledge three pivotal influences, my own group, and fitting candidates for this recognition who are sadly no longer with us. Dr. Bekom Ramsum Kuti, medical doctor, acid wit, and one of our finest. Dr. Tajuddin Abdurrahim, Rhodes Scholar and political scientist whose sacrifices for a free, democratic Nigeria deserve greater acknowledgement. And Chima Ubani, botanist and radical humanist who taught epic lessons in modesty and integrity. My parents, Augustine and Antonia Odinkalu, two old teachers, always taught us that corruption is that thing that could bring disgrace to your parents or odium to your kids. That works for me. All of us here and many more beyond this hall must continue to be grateful for the leadership and resolute and consistent cadence of our own WS Kundi on matters of conscience, equity, and fairness in public life. It is fitting that this evening memorializes his record and inspiration while he is still with us. On World Anti-Corruption Day, we should honor and recognize all who strive in the face of considerable resistance from self-interested forces against impunity for corruption and abuse of power. These are also challenges for human rights. Impunity perpetuates violations of law of human rights, and corruption is an unlawful tax on coexistence, equality, and the rule of the law. There are many of such people in our country. Our problem is that we don't have enough of them in the places where the major decisions that shape our lives are taken. Evenings like this should inspire us to find more ways to work with support and such people. I'm grateful to the WSCIJ, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Sarah, the Women Advocates Research and Documentation Center, Ward C, and the Human Environmental Development Agenda, HEDA, and the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, CDHR, for instituting this particular recognition, and to the other active elements in civil society, including the media, academia, and communities of faith, who are willing to make sacrifices, raise a voice, and make a demand for integrity in public life and for accountable exercise of power. The challenges we face are enormous. The next 15 months will test us and this country uniquely. In the end, personal recognition can bring home if you're on the losing side, or part of a country that habitually finds new ways to snatch defeat from a winning position. Working together, we can change this. Thank you once again, always, Chidi and Soyinka.
get to receive that award on his behalf. I mean, that was totally amazing. She was blown away. We will go to the next set of awards now, the Merit Awards, and we begin with the commendations. To present this award, and he will be standing for a long time, I welcome Professor Roko Shekuni. Please put your hands together. Professor Shekuni is the board chair of the center, and he will be presenting the awards to commended works, reporters in the print category, online category, and broadcast category. In the print category, the award of commendation goes to someone whose report, titled Court, was 10 sentences for minor offenders in jail who were denied the right to legal representation. Please make welcome the recipients of this award, Adeyemi Adesomoju. Mr. Adeyemi Adesomoju's work offers a broad and horizontal exploration for investigative reporting.
Good evening all. I want to most profoundly thank the center that I wasn't expected to be nominated for this award. I actually submitted it the last day of the close of entry. I thank you so much, sir.
The online category will welcome someone who on April 20th to free expression on the internet for Nigerians. It reported that the Nigerian government had awarded a $40 million contract to an Israeli company to monitor computers and internet communication by Nigerians as part of a government online spy program. The paper also reported that the contract is secretly conceived and tarnished by a huge corruption deficit. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome Emmanuel Ogada. The reporter, Emmanuel Ogada, is today commended in the online category of the 2013 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Journalism for its keen insights and implications for citizens. The panel of judges, in saluting the quality of reporting and writing, pays homage to what is called this type of reporting that safeguards our liberty, our freedom, and our community. Put your hands together for Emmanuel Ogada.
I want to thank my editors, Dr. Oloriomi and Muji, and I also want to thank Billy Olajede for giving me the chance in the first place to test what it is to be a journalist. And I want to thank my family, my wife Ogechi, who's there, who's also a journalist and taught me to write things. I tell my friends, and I'll tell you here today, I feel the way Nigeria is at the moment. I always tell my friends, Nigeria is a scam, and it's only investigative journalists that can see it.
For the broadcast candidate to the reporter who brought to light the green condition at the police college. The Kenya Police College broadcast on April 25, 2013 on Channels Television the story of the rot in one of the nation's police colleges. Indication for the quality of policemen produced there and discharged to guard millions of Nigerian citizens, apart from the failure of the regulatory institutions. charged with the duty of ensuring a decent, humane police college. Please join me as I welcome Ayo Kasim. Of the 2013 Wole Award for Investigative Journalism. It's been said that the local government is closest to the people, which is an obvious fact anyway. Therefore, it's important for their activities to be so covered in the category. We welcome someone or two persons who, in their reports, how officials steal houses, lands from 2013, revealed the depth of impunity in the Abuja land grab that is defined by extreme injustice of this award. Civil servants manipulating the system against Aboriginal citizens without sanctions, carting away with their land titles and leaving them with no alternative, the Abuja land grab has become the signature shame of a nation where social and economic rights are subjected to the malevolent impulse of a passionless state. Both editors/journalists with Premium Times, Iniekot and Basi Udo, are being honored today for their tenacity and their insistence for justice by bringing civil accountability to bear on corrupt officials and practices. They earned the first prize in the local government category of the 2013 Wole Award for Investigative Reporting. Congratulations. Please welcome Sanitary.
Good evening, Nigerians. Done for us to encourage us. But I want to thank God for this privilege and the platform that our father, Dele Olodide, gave to us. When he created Lex, he never knew what he did to Nigeria, gave us wings to fly, and we are still flying on Premium Times today. But I want to challenge the statement onto government, that government is tying the hands of the future of Nigerians by refusing to resolve the ASU issue. Nigeria today cannot say they don't have money. Today, the university have climbed. Most countries in Africa don't have as much resources as Nigeria has, and yet they are running a system that turns out very productive citizens. And so a challenge today is, as we leave this place, in our little corners and little platforms, we should continue to drum it into government ears that there is need for us to get the university going. While thanking everybody for coming to share in this moment of joy with us, we want to encourage journalists to be what they're supposed to be, the eye and the heart, the conscience of this nation. Thank you very much.
see them in person. I have read Vasi Udo for years. The next category winner, we're calling in the print category. Now that was the online category, but in the print category, we have someone who, in his report titled The Poachers Called Keepers, published in the September 2013 edition of the National Standard magazine, presented a biting commentary on the case of corruption that permeated the University of the Executive Secretary at the Wole. I present to you Olusegun Elijah. The panel of judges saluted Olusegun Elijah's effective coverage that brought the range of culprits that define the network of this massive corruption to light, in what he effectively defines as collaborators in the National Assembly, in the academia, the Ministry of Education, as well as publishers. Mr. Elijah is a mass communication graduate from the Osun State Polytechnic. He started his journalism career in 2006 and is now a reporter with the National Standard magazine. He is today honored with the award for the runner-up prize in the print category of the 2013 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. And to present this award, we welcome Dr. Karen Kadega.
This kind of journalism. That's about the only prestigious in journalism now, as far as I can see. Secondly, I'd like to thank my editor-in-chief because he actually gave us the latitude we needed for this particular story. And at the point, some of the black hat tactics that we have to take to warm up some of the information, because we learned one of the characters involved is a very violent guy and we were range. He took the decision and met him and eventually we got the story packaged. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we just got the backstory of that story. Congratulations to Mr. Elijah Olusegun. And that was for the runner-up in the print category. The winner for the print category is one who covered the story of virginity tests. The moral challenge of the nation is a ringtone that touches all segments of our national life today. There are those who think the way to reverse the ethical slide in the land is by electing an empowering morality policeman to be at point duty at every gate of the society. In his 13-part serial published in the Punch newspaper between 19 December 2012 and 20, narrates a worrying story of Reverend Olufunke Oladejobi, the principal of Ajuwon Secondary School, Ajuwon, in the Ifo local government area of Ogun State, who is concerned at what she characterizes as a promiscuity status of her college pupils. Please welcome Temitayo Fabutini, President of the Oladejobi thus insists that the way to confirm the morality status of her students is to personally conduct a virginity test on them without express approval from their parents or guardians. According to Temitayo's account, Reverend Oladejobi, a strict disciplinarian, invited two nurses to join her to dig fingers and depression. The parents raged. protests from students, parents, and members of civil society, and the government's response. The Ogun State government constituted a panel to investigate the issue and another to verify the findings of the panel. In the end, the principal was demoted and transferred to the State Teaching Service Commission to continue her job in the public service, where she will no longer have access to students after undergoing a psychiatrist test to prove she is well-oriented in time and person with good attention and concentration. A 2010 economics graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, Temitayo Famotimi started his journalism career as a correspondent with the Punch newspaper in 2011. Today, the Wole Center for Investigative Journalism salutes and rewards his courage to speak up against human abuse, especially of minors. We salute his dogged commitment to the culture of investigative reporting and effective writing. For his effort, Temitayo Famotimi is rewarded with the first prize in the print category for 2013 Soyinka Award for Investigative